everyone, it's Kelli Nova, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for, how to apply the tint to Tali'Zorah's visor. To make the visor, I ended up using one of those hazmat visor protector shields, and I put some vinyl tint over it, and then I pasted it into the thing. My favorite brony, Brian, suggested I use Metro Restyling's vinyl tint. It really goes on headlights, but it worked pretty well in a pinch. The vinyl is applied much like a sticker. It has one nice glossy side and then the other side has adhesive on it. Now, I looked online everywhere and everyone was like, oh yeah, it's really easy, you just put it on and you heat it up and whatever, it's good. But I found that it was actually more difficult than that, and it really comes down to a technique. I messed up a lot when I was putting this on, so I suggest getting at least twice as much as you originally think you're gonna need, just in case you mess up. To apply the tint, here's what you'll need. Since I don't have a visor, I'm gonna use my bowl as an example, but you'll need your visor, your tint, of course, a heat gun, or maybe a hairdryer will work, some kind of hard plastic card, like a credit card, ID card. I use my student ID card. And you'll need soapy water. I suggest using a spray bottle, but I can't find my spray bottle, so I just put it in a bowl and hopefully it'll all work out. Before applying your tint, rub or spray your soapy water in the area you're going to be applying your tint. The soapy water is going to help it be in place without actually sticking with the adhesive, and once the water gets out of the area, it's going to stick. Does that even make sense? Do I know what I'm talking about? Sure. I've put soapy water on both of my hands, that way the adhesive doesn't stick to them, and hopefully I won't get fingerprints all over the inside. Because my bowl is round, because it's a bowl, the tint isn't going to lay flat very well, just like on your visor. So I'm going to grab my heat gun and I'm going to heat it. And that sounds really simple, but let me explain you a thing. You want to apply heat enough to where the rigid tint starts to kind of congeal and it gets all loosey-goosey, and it's just like, hey guys, let's have a good time. And then stop heating it. And then try to straighten it out and pull it if you have to, because it'll pull for you a little bit. If you start to get ridges and folds, heat it again, lift it up, separate the fold, and put it back down. I hope that makes sense. As you heat the tint, you'll see the water underneath kind of start to spill out and the tint like grabs onto the plastic. That's what you want. Just don't heat it too much or else you'll blow a hole in your tint. Now, using your card, press out any air bubbles that are underneath your tint. And by air bubbles, it's most likely going to be water bubbles. If air bubbles keep reforming along the edges, just press it out and squish it and get the air bubble out, and then just hold pressure on it, because most likely it means that the tint is still wet underneath. So just hold it down and the tint will dry up and then stick. And there you have it. Like I said, it's more of a technique. By this point, I feel like I'm a master at it because I messed up so much. Practice makes perfect. Don't get frustrated. If you have to rage quit, do it. It's okay. I've done it at least 3 or 4 times on the visor alone. Just put it down and come back. Did you like my tutorial? Did you find it useful? Are you glad I actually did it this time? Do you like my bowl? Give me a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tinted anything before, what you used, your experience, if you loved it, if you hated it, if you just want to say hey. And don't forget to subscribe to the Weird Girls YouTube channel, where you can see more of my cosplay, Danny Danger's comic books, Jedi Amanda talking about everything Disney and Star Wars, and Mark talking about everything else in between. We're gonna have a really awesome new show coming to you guys very, very soon. So check it out. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I should have just done the whole tutorial with the helmet on. And the voice. First you must use the soapy water, Shepherd. And then apply the tint so it doesn't get sticky. And then heat it till it gets loosey-goosey. I feel like I'm doing like a really bad Russian accent. That's probably really offensive.